If you're watching this, you might be the black sheep of the family, which means you are here to break generational cycles that are no longer working. And I applaud you and I thank you for being here. This is what it takes. So we are at this cusp where we are coming out of the rise of feminism. And the rise of feminism is important. It's good that we own land. It's wonderful that we can own land, that we can make money, that we can vote. That's very, very important. But then what happened, which is often the case with any rising, the pendulum swung further. And this whole attitude of women needing to compete with men started trickling in. I need to be able to function like a man. I need to keep up to a man. I've done it. I was raised with brothers. It was like, have to compete. It's all in my family system. And well, of course we can keep up with men, but biologically it is actually very true that men have different builds and different hormonal experiences. And so where they operate on 24-hour clocks, we operate on 28, 29-ish day cycles. And when we hit elder years and we no longer bleed, we go into menopause. These things are just natural. And so if we are women trying to keep up with this generation of believing we need to compete with men, it's just going to wear us into the ground. And we're just going to burn ourselves out. And then our potency, our power, which comes from our emotional expression and our hormonal fluctuations, goes away. And then we just have women running around who are burnt out, resentful, and bitter. And it sucks. I've been one of them, trying to keep up all the time, trying to push. And so we're at this cusp, right? Because the world isn't structured for this anymore. We've gone from women staying at home to mostly women being in the workplace. And now there's this like, oh, how can I do both? And so I'm not saying I got all the answers, but what I am saying is that if you are desiring something different for yourself, whatever that may be, for me, I had to get really clear that my desire was to not work for anyone because I would get burnt out and resentful doing a Monday to Friday. I had to be on all the time. And so, what that looked like for me as the cycle breaker, as the black sheep in my family, is I quit my career. I quit my career in forestry and geographic information systems. And I went back to waitressing because what I loved about waitressing was the flexibility. What I loved was that I could be on my feet because I could not, I found it very hard to be in a cubicle, which was a lot of the time. And I did not like the old boys club in forestry. I didn't want to compete with them. It wasn't fun for me. I didn't enjoy it. I didn't love the forestry industry enough to do that. And so I went back to waitressing and it was so hard because I had all of these beliefs. Am I a failure? I was embarrassed. I was ashamed. I was like, what am I doing? But I worked less and made the same amount of money. And I would get asked all the time, well, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? What are you going to do? I'm like, I don't know. And there was this real risk in that because our world is very structured on you have to do the things, check off the boxes, um, you know, marriage, kids, degree, white picket fence, all of the things, pension, whatever it might be. And I wasn't living that way. I couldn't. It actually made me sick. It made me sick. I would gain weight, I would drink too much wine, and I would be really angry and resentful. And I couldn't live that way. I could not live that way. So part of this shift of what it means to be a woman, to change your lineage lines, to heal from your heart is about truly connecting to the truth of who you are, the truth of you, without the conditioning of the things that you were told you needed to do in order to be valued by society. I, in my own work that I do, recording these videos, I work a lot. My intention is to not do this to this pace forever, but I work a lot. But I have more energy working for myself than I ever, ever, ever did working for another person or in a cubicle or for a company or trying to fight my way through the old boys club of forestry. And this is why you are the leader of your lineage. Because you're probably looking like the black sheep. People probably are going, why are you doing it the way that you're doing this? I do not understand. And I hope you hear from me that this is actual lineage healing. This is you changing the world through your heart and trusting yourself. And in the next video, I'm going to talk about why this is going to impact your children's perception and perspective on the world. I'll see you soon. And thank you so much for being here.